Welcome everyone to the original Warhammer 3 trailer battle, with its current year leading the forces of Kislev with Tsarina Katerin against Skarbrand and the Chaos forces of Khorne. So for those that don't know its current year, he's a fantastic content creator here on YouTube. I will be leaving a comment down below. I will pin it for all of you to find to his content so you can check him out and say hello from Logic. So at the front, we are going to have the double Fleshhounds here of Khorne, backed up by the double Chaos Furies for a really good mobility start. In the back, we are going to have the double foot heroes of the Cultists of Khorne, reminding me of Uhtred of Bebbanburg. Been watching a lot of The Last Kingdom, and he just reminds me of him so much in his barbaric form. For anybody else that's seen that, I'm sure you might be able to see the resemblance. So the Gate of Khorne here, given the summon of the Bloodletters, very powerful here on the battlefield, and could be tough for Kislev to deal with. In the trees, we are going to have Skarbrand the Exiled, leading the forces of Khorne with the Fueled by Rage, the Rage Embodied, and the Wrathful Reaper. An extremely strong legendary lord who can be very scary at every moment in the battle. So in the front line, we are going to have two units of the Zargar Great Weapon, some of the best infantry that we have to offer here in the Kislevite roster. With anti-infantry and armor piercing, Zargar could do very well up against those strong cornflakes. So in the middle, we are going to have the double Kossar Spears, anti-large to help fight up against those Fleshhounds of Khorne in melee combat, and then good missiles as well with 140 range that can shoot into the lightly armoured Bloodletters. For the Lord Choice, we are going to have Tsarina Katerin, who's going to be here on her big, beautiful polar bear. She will be having the Crystal Cloak, Arcane Conduit, and the Frost Shield. And for the spells, the Heart of Winter, Frost Blades, Ice Sheet, and the abilities of the Ice Shard and Stand Your Ground. In the back, we are going to have the beautiful blue of the Winged Lancers, and these bad boys are good up against all the Warhounds of Chaos. So both forces are going to come together, and I really like the elite start here coming from the Kislevite roster, and the mobility could be a lot to deal with, but it's a big risk here from Khorne. Of course, with this mobility, it doesn't really have too much to snatch onto. Now, we could catch up against the Kossar Spears, but they're going to fight quite well here in melee combat up against the nice large Fleshhounds, and the Furies, yeah, they're really going to struggle as well. They're not going to do too well here up against the armoured Kossars, and they will struggle here up against Zargar. So I think starting with Furies is a bit of a bold pick, I must say. In the middle of the Cultists of Khorne, they can certainly duel up against the Lord Choice. Tsarina Katerin is strong here on a polar bear, but she could suffer up against three strong heroes. So it looks like we are going to get a little bit of tree action here. Some of the Winged Lancers moving in the trees. There's no real missiles. I think maybe just trying to hide as much of your force as you can and, pounce when necessary. We are going to be just getting ready here with the Winged Lancers, and we do have the double Zargard on the point. It's going to be very tough here for Skarbrand to try and deal with all these forces. We do actually get a summon here in the middle of the Chaos Warrior Halberd. So these bad boys, the Cornflakes, do have anti-large armor piercing, frenzy, as well as charge affection and charge defense first large. So they can do quite nicely here up against bear sleds, up against basically any bears that can be brought to the battlefield. Also, they can do quite nicely up against the Zargard. They do have good armor profiles, but they are going to be anti-large, where the Zargard are going to be anti-infantry and do some brilliant armor piercing damage. So these four combined could do some nice work, but I would really like to see them with a bit more support. Bloodletters are summoned, as well as some more Chaos Furies. Maybe looking to prevent a back cap here. It can be quite difficult. I think that is going to be the plan here for Khorne. Moving in here with the Furies could prevent any units from coming on, and then we could try and dominate the middle whilst also holding our own domination point 1. Zargard are on the point. They're going to be in front here of the Kossar Spears. The arrows are going to be ready, and we have this nice little... I'm not really too sure what this is in the middle, but we are going to have a little monument in the middle that's going to protect and really widen our force of the Zargard and give some more protection to our Kossar Spears. We're going to be waiting here quite patiently, very nicely from Khorne. I don't think they have the upper advantage at this moment, but we are going to get the Halberds and the Bloodletters ready to go with the double Cultists with those summons. We are going to allow the capture of domination point 2. That's a bit of a bold choice, I must say. Furies are on the point. It looks like they're going to be roughly landed here by the looks. They're just going to be waiting on domination point 3, and it does look like we are going to have a unit of the armoured Kossars coming forward. Now, the gunpowder can do quite nicely here up against the Furies, and they're really going to struggle up against that 80 armour. Coming forward is going to be some dervishes. They can get around the flanks, they can pin it up against the flesh hounds, and you don't really mind throwing these into the wind and buying yourself some time to get the armoured Corsair great weapons into position to shoot all the big doggos. So the double cultists, they do come forward. They're probably going to charge into the Zargard and then summon in behind with the Bloodletters to compromise here the Corsair spears and allow the actual paid for Bloodletters to get on a little bit more scot-free. But it looks like they are going to charge forward, getting shot by the Corsairs, which is a bit of a bold choice, I must say. I probably would have held those back, moved in with the halberds, as they're certainly going to take a lot more punishment. Winged Lancers are going to be charging forward. They are going to have those Lances at the ready. They're going to move through the water here, charging downtown into the backside of the unaware Bloodletters, and look at the charge. They thump very hard here into the back. Nice work here from its current year, really catching the Bloodletters unaware and doing some devastating damage indeed. We have one summon of the Bloodletters of Khorne. We are going to charge in here with the Dervishes. They do have 40 charge bonus, so they can do some lovely work indeed, and there's no counter charge from the Great Weapon Bloodletters. And they're going to start thumping really hard, but mostly they pay for armor piercing. So they're really going to struggle here up against the Dervishes that are large with no armor. In the middle, we are going to be having more of the Winged Lancers fighting up against the Doggos. It's a pretty even fight, but you can see as we did get the charge here with Winged Lancers, we are going to take down the Flesh Hounds. I mean, it's one of the strongest units here for Khorne. It's going to be a really tough battle indeed. Scarbrand is in the middle, pinned in here by the Dervishes, fighting alongside Zarina, and we might even get a Heart of Winter here. Actually, no, we are going to get the Wrathful Reaper, which is going to be rampaging here with... it looks like we did have another ability here from Scarbrand, but it has dissipated. In the middle, we are going to have the Zargar Greatweapons just chewing through the Khornite Halberds. They stand no chance up against the elite Kislevite infantry, and these Halberds are getting torn a new one. Fantastic. We'd love to see that here in the middle. The Cultist is going ham in the back here up against the Corsair Spears as well. Bloodletters have moved down here in their lovely single file. It's a bit like the old school days here when you went to go for your school lunches. But in the middle, we are going to have Domination Point 1 here getting captured for the Bloodletters of Khorne. And another summon here of the Cornflakes. So just regular Cornflakes coming forward here, the boys with the shields. As they are going to approach, they can take a lot less damage here with the silver shields. The Flash Hounds will be charging forward. These bad boys, 95 speed, 65 weapon strength, can really dominate on the battlefield at times. The Armoured Corsair Great Weapons ready to go here. They could do quite nicely up against the Cornflake Infantry. This is going to be... oh, we are actually going to be getting by our blood the Unbreakable trait here for the Dervishes. And the Heart of Winter has been activated. That's going to slow down Scarbrand. He's going to be taking more and more damage here in the middle. Looks like here we are going to be falling with the Flesh Hounds. They're going to be dissipating back to the realms of chaos as we have the Corsair Spears fighting quite nicely. Look at the double axes. I love his animations. They're so fun here in the middle. Unfortunately, here we do break with the Dervishes. That's going to be some good mobility off the battlefield. We also do break a Cultist of Khorne. The Zargard Great Weapon is doing very strongly indeed. Zargard charging forward. Flesh Hounds moving up to the backside here of the unaware Great Weapons as they thumb so hard into the backside. That's going to be 46 charge bonus into the rear of the Armoured Corsairs. The Great Weapons will turn and they will burn. Look at these beautiful weapons here they have on their back. Fantastic. They're double-handed maces that can really get in and smash up against the backside of these doggos. So just some regular Flesh Hounds ready to go here in the back alongside some double Cornflakes. And that appears to be it. Bloodletter's going to move over here to the left-hand side of the battlefield. It's going to be a bit of an open plain here in the backside, and we could get a surround on the remaining of the Kislevite forces. So 2.1k up against 450 here for the forces of Khorne. Now that is going to be giving a serious ticket advantage here to the Khornite player, but they're pretty slow with the infantry. So are they going to have enough time to capitalize? I wonder. So the Raging Bodied, which is extremely strong for Scarbrand, anything that takes 20% damage will rampage here into Scarbrand, and he is going to be butchering Katarine here in the middle. Where is Big Daddy Urson when we need him? She's going to be getting thumped. She's going to be going down. GG's there to Scarbrand. That is a big win on Domination Point 2. In the back here, we have the Armoured Corsairs ready to push up onto the left-hand flank of the battlefield. Try and see if we can control the incoming traffic of the Khornite infantry. But Flesh Hounds here fighting up against the Kovashite Dervishes are really going to be struggling. Zargard Great Weapons do break under the might of Uhtred of Bemember. The one here going to be bringing the forces of Bemember down on the Kislevite ranks. But we do see in the middle, Flesh Hounds are going to be tearing apart Armoured Corsairs, Dervishes. They're going to be holding them back, moving in with the Khornite infantry, so we can now pull out the Flesh Hounds and start moving them around the battlefield. bucket loads of Furies going to be pushing down up against the Warbear Riders, the anti-large armor-piercing snipers here on the battlefield, and they've got one target in mind. They're going to be vengeful here for their princess as they come after Skarbrand, and they're going to make him truly exiled here from the natural realm. We're going to be moving forward here with the Khorne halberds, and they're going to be a brilliant counter here up against the armored large Warbears. In the side, we are going to be having the Snow Leopard. It goes round the side here with the Bloodletters. I don't think the Khorne player has noticed this, and look at it. It's going to be looking at Domination Point 1 and its capture potential. Fantastic stuff there from the Snow Leopard. It's going to be getting forward and causing a bit of issue here for the Khorne player. We are going to capture Domination Point 2, 3,000 tickets to 1,200 for the forces of Kislev. Shooting forward here, the Armored Corsairs are going to be spraying and praying here into the side of the Fleshhounds. Now they're going to get compromising here by the dawning of the Furies. They're going to come swooping down and doing some good damage here up against the Armored Corsairs. Lovely work indeed. In the side, we are going to see Warbear Riders charging to the back objective. I think at this moment, very smartly here coming from its current year, he's going to recognise he doesn't need capture point 2. As long as we can hold one of the capture points, we should be okay. We're going to be capturing in the back, and I absolutely love this. We can see in the back here, the Snow Leopard is just going to be in the back corner. It's going to be very hard to notice. If you haven't seen in the top that we are going to be capturing, it could be quite difficult. So on Domination Point 3, we are going to see the Warbear Riders charging up to the middle. They'll butcher Fleshhounds. They'll butcher pretty much anything here in the Khorne roster outside of Khorne halberds. In the middle, we do have one unit here of the Strokes. So there was someone to the battlefield. We did try and protect them here with some dervishes. They are going to break, and we do have some good armor piercing with drones here, but they're not brilliant in melee combat. They can fight, should they? Probably not, especially here up against the Khorne infantry with these shields. These bad boys have great melee defense here in at 40, and then 44 melee attack with good armor piercing that can really take down the Streltsy. In the middle here, we are probably going to get the Wrathful Reaper and then also Rage Embodied. We're actually going to be terrifying a lot of the Kosovite infantry. And yeah, we are certainly going to be butchering on the right-hand side. So I can see why we're going to be pulling back the Warbear Riders. We have more Armored Corsair Great Weapons coming to Domination Point 3. The ticket advantage now is going to be slowing down. We do capture Domination Point 1. Furies will now be charging forward here with Bloodletters. Yet again, coming in this really straight line formation. You've got to be careful. You need to get these boys forward first before you pull them into the left. Otherwise, they're going to be doing this really weird long lunch line. I don't really quite understand why the game does that, but still, nonetheless, that's going to be what it is. Spawn of Khorne charging forward here. The Khorne halberds and Bloodletters is going to be moving into the back up against the Corsair spears. We do get a summon here of more Corsairs, and in the back we are going to get some armored Corsairs, which are going to be holding the domination point as they get charged down here by the Fleshhounds. I don't quite think here that its current year has seen in the back that we do actually have some Fleshhounds on the approach. The great weapons can fight quite nicely, but you know, Fleshhounds with the rear charge can be a little bit devastating. We do have some of the polar bears holding here on the left-hand side. We are going to be down. Are we actually using By Our Blood as we do break here with the Warbear Riders? 9 models left, fighting up against Skarbrand, who is super tanky. 5,047 HP as he's going to be fighting up against the big, gorgeous boys. We do actually pretty much shatter here with the Fleshhounds. They're going to be going back to the Chaos Realms, and we're going to be wavering here with the second unit. In the middle, we have the Khornite units, which are going to be charging forward here, really pinning in the spawn points here on the left-hand side of the Kislevite forces. Yeah, they're going to be holding with the Furies. They're going to be, you know, doing quite nicely here and going to be preventing the infantry from getting into the back here and helping to prevent the capture of Domination Point 3. In the middle, we have the Dervishes fighting up against the spawn of Khorne. This is going to be an interesting fight. Of course, they have no armor, but they have 190 weapon strength, and there's no armor here for the Dervishes. So I think the Dervishes here, they're going to do a lot of damage up against the spawn of Khorne, but they're also going to get absolutely destroyed. Over here on the left-hand side of the battlefield, Domination Point 1, we have Winged Lancers fighting alongside the Snow Leopard up against the Bloodletters of Khorne. These bad boys are going to do some nice work here on the Domination Point. We are going to move in here with the Blood Crushers. The big bad boys are going to slap right into the flank here of the nice cavalry units. The Winged Lancers are heavily armored, but the Blood Crushers of Khorne, they have some fantastic armor piercing. So they're going to move away. We do actually see the Snow Leopard is going to be helping to hold the Domination Point 1. It's going to be 4,990. GG's well played here to the forces of Kislev as they just about hold on at the very, very end. Really nice stuff. I thought some amazingly high intellect plays here coming from Khorne, pushing the spawn points, preventing them from reinforcing their own Domination Point 3, and then holding on to the end. The bestest Casso you've ever seen. We do actually have the Snow Leopard really holding on the end there, keeping the extra domination points coming forward here for Kislev. And unfortunately, with the Khorne forces, we just got a little bit too far behind, not capturing domination point 1 early enough. Just meant that we got a little bit too far behind to catch up. So Skarbrand, 4,200 for him. Excellent work indeed, with 580, 430 for the Cultist of Khorne, with 1,400, 1,200, 1,000 and 550. For the reinforcements, we didn't manage to see any Minotaur great weapons, bit of a shame there, but we did manage to get the Blood Crushers at the very end. I think they would have been very impactful indeed. We got 280 for the Spawn of Khorne, with 450, 350 for the Khornite Halberds, 600 and 360 there for the Bloodletters, with 1,052 there for the Warriors of Khorne. 880, 730 for the Double Fleshhounds, with 1,250 there for the Furies. So for the forces of its current year, we got 760 for Katerin, with also 830 and 1,450 there for the Zarkard. I really liked that start. A good, stable unit to get in on the battlefield and can pretty much butcher any of the forces here coming forward from Khorne. The only place they might have struggled is against Exalted Bloodletters, but even then that's a massive investment and a big risk as well, because one unit of the Koshevite infantry, and the Corsairs certainly would have taken down the Exalted Bloodletters with, amazing proficiency. 950, 900 there for the Winged Lancers, with 300 and 700 for the Spears. So the Warbear Riders, 1,500 for them, excellent performance, with 480 there for the Streltsy. Unfortunately, coming in at a bit of an unfortunate part of the game. We get some good pin in there with the Cornflakes, as well as Skarbrand there on that right-hand side, just really preventing its current year from getting those troops forward. There was 2 or 3 there stuck in the trees, and it looked a little bit painful, actually. If that battle had gone on just maybe a little bit longer, we might have struggled here as the forces of Kislev. 470, 580 there for the Armoured Corsairs, with 590 and 90 there for the regular. We are going to have 330 and 150 there for the best Snow Leopards you've ever seen in the game of Warhammer. These boys getting forward and capturing the point was absolutely fantastic. It really won the game here for Kislev for sure, and it really forced distribution of units towards domination point 1. We saw some Bloodletters getting forward. We also saw a unit of 1.5k Bloodletters of Khorne. So yeah, we saw them have to get forward to look after domination point 1. 360, 200 there for the Corsair Spears, 640, 680 and 320 there for the Dervishes, with 108 and 0 there for the Corsairs. So guys, I really hope you enjoyed this game. If you did, please smash that like button, it would really help. Feel free to leave a comment down below of all your thoughts and opinions. I do try and read them and respond as much as I possibly can. Also, do check out It's Current Year with his YouTube channel. Feel free to subscribe here if you are enjoying. Of course, you guys have been doing a lot of that recently, so thank you very, very much for that. And then check out that description for my Twitch, and then also that Discord. I've been your boy Logic. Take care of yourself during these times, and I'll see you all very, very soon.